Welcome back to the Morty Bros. I'm Joe. It's the next episode, and we are extremely excited for today's episode because we're doing something a little bit different, but we're going to be using the air fryer once again. I swear I eat healthy. I've made pizza, and now I'm going to make French fries. An American classic. We're making it with organic potatoes. We got seasonings all around here, and we're going to do them from scratch using just a pot, some boiling water, and the air fryer. Alright, so the first step in the process is going to be to turn on the water. We're going to want to start boiling this water beforehand because it's going to take a little while to clean and cut all the potatoes. So make sure you get the water boiling because that's going to take a while to boil. Let's move over to the potatoes. So the first thing I like to do with the cutting board is, see how it kind of slides around a lot. I like to take a paper towel, fold it up a few times, and just wet it, and then throw it right underneath the cutting board. And that's going to get it to stick nice. See how it doesn't move around as much now? So that's good because we're going to be cutting potatoes and they're all going to be going on the cutting board. So make sure that's all good to go. Alright, the next step, let's get into these potatoes here. Organic russet potatoes. This is a solid size, and I didn't mention it yet, but we have a special potato cutter here. And this was about 25 bucks on Amazon. And it just gives you the perfect fry shape. There's two different types of attachments. I like to use the thicker fry. All right, we're gonna have to wash these potatoes now. Might take a little while. So we have this potato washed. Just to give you an understanding of how easy this is, you drop the potato right in, press down, and you get these perfect fries. So if you run into a problem that this potato doesn't fit in here, you have two options, and this kind of applies if you don't have this thing at all. You can cut it like that and get it small enough where you could actually fit it back in here, or if you don't have this thing at all and you want to just cut them by hand, it's very simple. Cut a little bit at the end, so now you have it flat, and now all you have to do, go through the middle one time, and then come over here and just chop down. And you're gonna get the same type of fry. It's all about the thickness. I mean, I like this thickness the best. It's important to also keep in mind when you're cutting these fries up that you're trying to keep them somewhat similar in size so that they'll cook evenly. If you have some of the fries that are, you know, really thin and small, and then some of them that are big steak fries, they're gonna cook uneven, and it's gonna lead to some of them being undercooked and then other ones being a little bit too crispy. So now that the fries are all cut up and ready to go, the next step is extremely important. Since we're making these fries healthier, not fried, generally when they are fried, you're gonna wanna blanch them in the actual oil, but since we're not going to do oil, we're going to actually blanch them in this pot of boiling water for about 5 minutes. So the water is boiling at this point. What we're going to want to do first, before we throw the potatoes in, we're going to preheat the air fryer. We're going to put the air fryer on the highest temperature that it could go. I think some air fryers go to 400. Mine goes to 380. 380 is fine, but you want it as high as it can go so it gives you the nice crisp on the outside of the fry. So just to give you a little bit more background on why we're putting the fries in the water, if we threw them straight into the air fryer, it would eventually cook them and they would be good, but I think the problem with putting them straight into the air fryer is that you're going to get them really dark on the outside because it takes a while for them to cook all the way through, and what that's going to do is it's going to make them extra black on the outside. It's not going to cook them well and even enough. Before we throw the fries into the pot, we're always going to want to salt the water first. Feel free to use a generous amount of salt. All right, do this part at your own risk. These fries are gonna go in here. If you wanna go handful at a time, fine. If you wanna scoop them in, fine. I usually try to go all in one shot, but do it at your own risk because this is boiling water. So the fries are in, the potatoes are in. This is gonna take literally 5 minutes, and I'm not usually a big stickler for timing things out and being so precise, but I've had experience making these before. If you leave them in too long, 7 minutes even, 6, 7 minutes, it's gonna get them too soft and they're gonna start breaking apart. If you leave them in not long enough, they're gonna be too hard when you put them in. So it really needs to be 5 minutes. So we're at 4 minutes on the potatoes. I'm gonna get the strainer ready. And we're gonna set the strainer up. The water comes off. And then these potatoes are gonna go straight back into the bowl. First thing you're gonna wanna do when the potatoes get in the bowl, there's 3 ingredients that we're gonna put on before they go into the air fryer. First things first, as I said, potatoes' best friend, salt. And we're gonna put a pretty good amount of salt on, but don't put too much because we're gonna put salt on when they come out as well. Pepper is the next ingredient, just regular black pepper. And the third ingredient is some kind of neutral oil. I like to use avocado oil. And again, we're making these as healthy as possible. This avocado oil is just to give them that crispiness on the outside. And just give them a nice toss. And when you're done mixing, these are gonna go straight into the air fryer. 20 minutes in the air fryer, toss them every, I'd say 6 minutes or so. All right, so we've reached about 6 or 7 minutes that the first batch of potatoes have been in. We're gonna take them out, just take a look at them real quick. Looking like, you know, they're starting to brown up here, but clearly not even close to being done. And now what we're gonna wanna do with them is we're going to want to just give them a quick toss. And be careful with the toss because you don't wanna lose them. It's not a big deal if you lose a couple of them. But just toss them around like that, very simple. Make sure they're not sticking to one another. And then you're just gonna pop them back in. And folks, I say 20 minutes, but it's really to your liking. You're gonna wanna make them as crunchy or as soft or as overdone or as underdone as you want. So after, I'd say they should at least be in there for 15. But after 15, start taking a piece of them out and tasting them. All right, so we're at 20 minutes for the second batch. Pull them out. All good to go. Crispy, light, delicious. All right, so this is our whole batch of fries. 3 pounds of fries here. Final step of the process is going to be the season. Our last bit of salt. That should be good for the salt now. And I kind of change this up every time I make the fries. You can really just come up with your own mixture. But I think a really important spice, other than salt and pepper, you want to always have paprika. A little paprika, don't overdo it, just to give it a nice color. And then, this time, I'm going to go garlic powder. You know me, I always like to have a little bit of heat. If you don't know me, now you do. Cayenne pepper. And this stuff's pretty potent, so a little dash over them, and that's good. Perfect. Seasoned French fries, cayenne, salt, pepper. The camera guy just stole a bite. Amazing. All right, only one thing left to do. Gotta plate some of these fries. Little bowl. Take a few. Don't they look amazing? What's a fry without a little bit of ketchup? And the way I like to make my ketchup, just a hint of some sriracha. Considering you could have these, or you could have triple fried McDonald's French fries, which one are you gonna feel better about? I'll take these any day of the week.